I love this scene. Watch this shit. Watch the discontent. Look how he doesn't give a fuck about her. This scene is really interesting because she looks so innocent, like a child, right? You know, walking up to her father, and it's like she yearns for his approval, and you know, love is the best one she's got, right? But look at the way he talks to her though.
You wanted to review the new models, sir, before shipment?
An angel should never enter the kingdom of heaven without a gift.
Now look at that fucking resentment. It's like, damn, it's like you could see the difference between the way she walked up to him, like innocent, like, and you know, wanting his approval, and you know, but then when he says that shit, look at the fucking change in her face. Look at the eyes, man. The eyes tell it all. Like, it's interesting. It's just like she resents him, you know, and she knows she's a slave, and there's like nothing she can do about it.
Can you at least pronounce a child is born?
And then, you know, she acknowledges it, and almost like she has a sense of clarity, because, you know, for a minute she didn't blink. She had that discontent. She didn't blink, and then she kind of like, look at her eyes. They kind of like, you know, glance down, like almost in shame. And look at that. She almost seems like she's about to, you know, she's so emotional. Wallace doesn't have her emotions in check at all, and you could tell that, like, when she's first introduced into the movie, like her emotions are unchecked. She's like Roy Batty, the times a billion or whatever. You know, you can just see it. Look at her eyes. It's crazy. She's so beautiful too, by the way, actress. And then you see, and then look, why she looks down. She just looks down, almost like in shame. Um, it's shit. I think it's almost like an acceptance. She's like, it is what it is. You know, tell me what you need me to do next. You know, but you feel sorry for her.
A new model. Let us see her then.
And I love Jared Leto's performance in here. He's like, if he, you know, he gets a lot of slack or whatever, but I mean, I've liked his performance since Requiem for a Dream. That's when I first like was introduced to him, was through that movie, and you know, he's a really good actor. He portrays that, you know, that God complex, and you know, it almost seems like he looks like even though he's blind, and that's how his eyes look because he's blind, but he almost looks like a God with those type of eyes, right? Like, it's almost like staring into the heavens. You know, it has that cloudy look to him. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like staring into like clouds. You know, but and then the blackness around the clouds, almost like almost alien like. It's crazy. I love it. Shit, I don't know if YouTube's gonna get me for this nudity, but hell, you can watch African tribes damn near naked and nothing but like 40 girls with their breasts out on YouTube. So, and this is for artistic purposes anyway, and an analysis and a review and a deep dive into this movie, and really more so the deep dive into the character of Agent Love. It's like, damn, she's a full grown human. That's crazy. And it's like everything is intact, but it, yeah, the concept of a replicant is just crazy to me, especially their birth and how they're born. It's crazy. And then she like he says, she's an angel, perfect in every way. I mean, she has enhanced speed, strength, intelligence, endurance. I mean, the list goes on. She can survive in harsh climates, you know, with the proper with the proper breathing apparatuses, like off-world colonies, and they send replicants out there to like clean up trash and stuff like that. Things that'll be kind of in harsh environments that would be like more detriment to like humans and stuff. It's crazy.
The first thought tends to fear to preserve the clay. It's fascinating. Before we even know what we are, we fear to lose it. Happy birthday.
Now this is what I was trying to get to, and this shit's right here saying, now I know you guys see the tear dropping, and just like, damn, she knows this is exactly how she was created. You know what I mean? This is and it's fucking with her basically. Like I said, she's very unchecked emotionally, and she sees this, and she knows that she's a slave, and it's sad. It's really sad. You see it in her eyes, just like in a way, but like I said, she's like, it's so wrong. This shit is so fucking wrong. But at the same time, she can't do anything about it. You know, she can't, and it just lets you know that even though it's perfect, and and better than they are. That from us, I mean, in every single way, they still have flaws. She still has the human condition in her, and this is even shown in the earlier video with her flirting with Agent K when they first meet on their first meeting. About being wanted, and like people, when women ask people, well, I'm sorry, when women ask men about how their day is and like do they enjoy their job, like that's a sign from a person of the opposite sex trying to get to know you, to make you feel desired, to want to get to know more about you, and that's a human trait. And see, and look, she catches herself. Did you see the look that she gave her? She kind of looks up a little bit. She catches herself, and then they, as you can see, she looks a little bit more stoic, a little bit more stone face in the eyes. But she catches herself. She didn't even wipe the tear. She didn't even wipe the tear. She kind of looked up to let the tear roll down furthermore. But it's crazy. It's crazy. Just check it out. Check it out.
Now let's have a look at you.
Look at that. Look at just perfection. The way she walks up there with back straight, it's just sheer perfection. She's so meticulous, and it's perfection. I love it. Look how gentle she is. She looks, and did you see the eye roll? Did you kind of see the eye roll a little bit? Let me go back. Let me go back. All right. Watch this. You see, it's like she's like basically fuck you. You know what I mean? Yeah, because for the simple fact he didn't say thank you, he didn't acknowledge her. It's a shame, and you can see it. It's in the eyes. It's in the eyes, man. And like I said, I'll just reiterate. You feel sorry for her. You really do. This is in some ways, it almost like she looks like she wants to die. In some ways, maybe I'm looking into it wrong, but she has that look like, I don't want to be here. I'll never have a life. I'll never, you know what I mean? But it's crazy. Let's just fuck it. It's crazy.
We make angels in the service of civilization. Yes, there were bad angels once. I make good angels now. That is how I took us to 9 new worlds. 9. A child can count to 9 on fingers. We should own the stars.
Yes, sir.
Now, well, he says we, and then she says yes, sir. So it's like she's getting a little validation, and I don't know. It's like, does she know that he's acknowledging her, or is he acknowledging her when he says we? And it's she gives it's weird. Yeah. But she agrees. She agrees. I don't know if she is agreeing willingly. I'm not. I'm sure. She just wants to please her creator, but deep down, in her psyche, it's something else going on in there. Something else going on in there, but she can really never do anything about. But she agrees. Now look at this. She looks afraid. She looks afraid, and she knows this is, that this new replicant that was just birthed is going to get the same treatment that she got. And it's almost like she's saddened by it. It's just it's all in the eyes. This actress, she's just knocking it, brilliant. Just to see her work on screen is just brilliant with her facial expressions, and in the way, and certain movements in the face, and in the eyes, and the adjustments of the eyes. It's just in her brow. You know what I mean? Like the brow and the adjustments of the eyes. I mean, it's perfect.
Every leap of silver.
And then she kind of like, she rolls up, she rolls them back, about face attention, and it's strange. The discontent and the malevolent, look in her eyes, just like it can burn ice. It's just all I see is fire, fire in her eyes, burning bright. That's all I see.
Was built off the back of a disposable workforce. We lost our stomach for slaves.
Now that it is like, is he right? I mean, because he's technically he's not lying, because look at how many people we have in the workforce. With so many type of, so many ants, you know what I mean, doing jobs, whether it's FedEx, UPS, Wendy's, the post office. I mean, forklift drivers, truck drivers. We're all, in a workforce that is disposable, because in some states it's right to hire, right to fire. And of course he's talking about slaves, of what African Americans back in the day, and then it's and probably slavery throughout, since time was time, all around the world. Um, and the next part he says is interesting.
Unless engineered.
Unless engineered, and it's crazy that he kind of like rolls his, he has his neck like postured up. It's kind of weird that he rolls his neck back, and he kind of like, his eyes are like looking towards Agent Love, right? So first, that's the second acknowledgement, I guess. I don't know.
But I can only make so many. That barren pasture, empty and salted. Right here. The dead space between the stars. Oh, there's the seed that we must change forever.
And you see right there, she's startled. She, the thing about how many times she's seen this happen to so many female replicants, though, and she's startled, and it scares her. Watch this.
Oh, there's the seed that we must change forever.
You see, she winces, and that's sad, man. That's you feel bad for her, right? But the duality of that is just,
I cannot breed them.
it's incredible.
Help me, I have tried. We need more replicants than can ever be assembled.
And then of course he says we again. and then look at her face now. Now is she focused? Is she tuned in? Is she locked in and paying attention to what he's saying, or are those eyes the eyes of a person who really wants to kill him? Because she knows the shit he's doing is wrong, or she has she's aware of it in some capacity. Look at those eyes. It's burning fire straight through Wallace. She's looking at Wallace. You know, and it's pure rage, and it's directed towards Wallace. Seeing him do this, to a woman, because she knows she's a woman. She's not a Terminator, okay? She's still a human being, and there will always be the human condition there. No matter how advanced she is when she was born, there's always going to be the human condition, and that's interesting to me. That and then, like I said, the eyes don't lie. Um, if she could rebel and be free, she would. But Wallace has tuned her and perfected her to his and bend her genetic makeup and the way she thinks to his will before she was even born, to follow him, without without any type of without any type of questioning or second thought into it. And it's almost like, in some ways, in this scene, when you look into her eyes, that she's trying to fight it. Maybe I'm looking into it a little bit too deep, but I need to know, what do you guys think in the comment section? Tell me what's on your mind when you watch this scene. What what your interpretation of this scene, because it's almost like if she could rebel, she would, but she can't.
Be trillions more.
Oh, that was some fire right there. I missed that shot.
Storm Eden and retake. Tyrell's final trick.
Procreation.
Perfected, then lost. But there is a child. Bring it to me.
Sir.
The best angel of all. Aren't you, love?
Look at that shit. And she knows it, and Wallace gives love her praise, in a sense. I mean, like I said, he said "we" twice, and he addressed her, but I think she knows it is what it is. I'm gonna do what my father tells me to do. I'm gonna do what my master tells me to do. But in some ways, there's a sense of wanting to rebel, and kind of like the same scenario with David in Alien Covenant, because I love that opening scene. I love that opening scene from Ridley Scott, and it doesn't take long, and it just shows you about David's questioning of his own creator, and I think both of that scene and this one, are similar. I feel that same vibe, that same self-aware vibe. But as David, he couldn't do anything about pouring the tea and making him walk like, what, 6 feet, a couple of feet across from the room, and he's looking at Waylon like, why do I have to pour tea for you when you have it right there in front of you? Why are you gonna make me get up from this piano and walk all the way over here when the tea is already right beside you? You can pour it yourself. And but what does he do? He obeys. He walks over and pours the tea. And I mean, and it kind of reminds me, that same duality is a little similar to this scene as well. But it's mostly, it's in David's eyes in the end, but you see it all throughout this scene in Agent Love's eyes. So many differences in her facial appearances with her eyes, and it's beautiful. She very well acted. Very, very talented actress, and I forget her name, but I'm gonna Google that ASAP. This has been a guerrilla style, unorthodox in-depth kind of sort of review on this movie. Um, if you guys want to get down in the comments, talk about it, tell me what you were thinking. That's cool, and I'll catch you guys on another video if I drop one. Thanks.